Tonight on CTV News at 6. It's getting more intense and growing.
Hot, dry conditions, some of the winds as well. It makes for some challenges in being able to control the fire.
The wildfire south of Timmins forces the evacuation of Matagami First Nation. They are in demand.
We may be building construction, but that's a vehicle to change people's lives through employment.
The province is providing millions in Sudbury to help train workers in skilled trades and creating a better facility.
We've had $20 million raised.
The Timmins and District Hospital Foundation announces the public phase of its fundraising campaign.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. So glad you're with us on this Thursday. A mandatory evacuation is now in place for Matagami First Nation, south of Timmins. That wildfire we have been telling you about over the past few days has grown in size and is now threatening the community, along with the village of Gogama. CTV's Madison Merrier has more.
The Timmins 9 fire has grown from 350 hectares on Monday to just under 3,000 hectares as of this afternoon.
Hot, dry conditions, some of the winds as well. It makes for some challenges in being able to control the fire. We have been using a lot of aerial suppression to bring down the intensity of the fire and the fire behavior itself.
Nearby communities are less than 10 kilometers away from the fire and have been monitoring the situation.
We sent out a notice today to our residents to at least prepare for an evacuation, so that, get your belongings together, at least what you need. And other items, your pets, etc., your valuables, at least prepare just in case, because the evacuation notice, if it does come, it will come very quick.
Matagami First Nation notified community members yesterday evening of a mandatory evacuation, and Highway 144 has been closed as a precaution.
The highway right now is closed from the watershed to Timmins. They're anticipating that the fire will cross the Highway 144. This afternoon. That is concerning to us, being south of that, because the winds tomorrow will shift to the north, which will put us directly in the path of the fire again.
According to the MNR, there are 9 fire ranger crews, water bombers, and helicopters battling the wildfire, but it is unknown when the fire will be under control.
It has intensified overnight from yesterday. We did see a bit of an increase on the area of the fire, and that was due to the low humidities overnight and just the conditions on the ground as it is now.
Meanwhile, the Matagami Fire Department has set up suppression systems nearby homes to keep the community wet as the fire rages on. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
And we have an update for you. Highway 144 has reopened. It did so around 5:30 this afternoon, but could close again depending on weather and fire conditions. Travelers should check Ontario 511 if they're planning to use that road. Meanwhile, the city of Timmins says it is instituting a fire ban. Because of the high temperatures and dry conditions, all open air burning and open flames are prohibited. This includes campfires, outdoor fireplaces and pits, along with incinerators, plus slash and burn agriculture. Burning permits that have been issued by the city are suspended during the fire ban. Propane-fueled fire pits and barbecues are permitted but must be used with caution. Ontario's Minister of Labour was in Greater Sudbury today to dole out millions that will help train workers who will fill high-demand skilled labour jobs. CTV's Angela Gemmell reports.
At 18, Kiana Leroy is the youngest graduate of Community Builders and now is gainfully employed and confident about her future.
Community Builders showed me that there's a place for young women in the trades and gave me the confidence to pursue that dream. The program taught me how to safely use hand and power tools, but it also taught me so much more.
Community Builders is one of 3 training projects in Northern Ontario to get a portion of $8 million in provincial funding from the Skills Development Fund. The Minister of Labour, Immigration, Training and Skills Development says the last round helped 14,000 people access training.
Those are numbers, but it's measured by stories like Kiana's, where we're helping people find those meaningful jobs and recognizing recognizing that when it comes to training, if we can bring that training closer to home, partner with social enterprises like this.
The social enterprise known as Community Builders has been around for 10 years, with 4 sites, including Sudbury and Sault Ste. Marie. Individuals who are facing employment barriers are part of a 12-week paid program, which trains them for jobs in skilled trades. The $1.9 million from the province will help almost 200 individuals.
We may be building construction, but that's a vehicle to change people's lives through employment. Our main success metrics is actually getting people employed who are coming out of the program. So opportunities are what we like to hand out, and we have about a 89 to 90% rate of full-time employment for those graduating out of our program.
Also getting funding are an Indigenous-led partnership in Northwestern Ontario and an Indigenous-led social enterprise made up of 3 Northern First Nations.
We're facing growing demand for skilled workers, particularly in industries that are essential to building our province, including, as I've mentioned, infrastructure, mining, and advanced manufacturing.
The Skills Development Fund will provide $3.2 million to Science North to establish a training center at Dynamic Earth. That will train 7,000 people a year in mining, construction, and other sectors. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
2 people are facing serious charges following a sudden death in March east of Sault Ste. Marie. Police responded to a disturbance March 29th at a restaurant in the town of Bruce Mines. 23-year-old Caleb Foster from Deborah was seriously injured in the altercation and died a few days later in hospital. A 21-year-old and 55-year-old from Bruce Mines have been charged with manslaughter and will appear in court July 2nd. 2 people have been charged after Anishinaabe-Aski Police Service seized more than $100,000 in drugs. The drug bust was part of an ongoing trafficking investigation in Constance Lake First Nation. The investigation led police to a motel in Hearst, where police executed a search warrant yesterday. Police seized suspected fentanyl, methamphetamine, and other drugs, along with a replica firearm. A 41-year-old woman and a 57-year-old man, both from Constance Lake First Nation, were arrested. Police in North Bay are warning that home improvement frauds are starting to heat up. The public is being told to be cautious with people offering low-cost roofing or driveway repairs. While these offers are often presented by someone at your door using high-pressure tactics, it can be through flyers or legitimate-looking websites. Police say you should always compare quotes, ask for a signed contract outlining the scope of the project, and ask for proof of the contractor's licensing, liability, and WSIB coverage. And police in North Bay also arrested a 26-year-old man from Toronto going door-to-door in the Birch Haven area in February. The man told people he represented the Federal Home Energy Conservation Program and promised rebates ranging from $5,000 to $10,000. According to police, the program he referenced had concluded several years ago. The federal government plans to extend measures to support the domestic steel and aluminum industry struggling under U.S. tariffs. The program that pays back certain firms for Canadian tariffs on steel and aluminum from the U.S. will be extended until the end of June 2027.
Steel quotas consistent with we have to land on the overall agreement. When we land on the overall agreement revisions to CUSMA, we will take stock on steel quotas and other measures that we have taken.
Steel and aluminum imports from countries except the U.S. and Mexico will continue to be hit with 50% tariffs above a certain quota for another year. Both programs were set to expire later this month. Well, it's another warm one out there. A lot of sunshine and temperatures are above seasonal. To bring us the latest, here's CTV's Rick Wyman in the Weather Center.
Tony, I don't know if I want to cut the grass tonight or just take a pass and put it off till the weekend. It's just one of those nights. Nice night, some very warm temperatures. As you just alluded to, our systems map, precipitation approaching northeastern Ontario, in some cases overnight. Right now we've got some rain in some areas. We'll talk about that with our currents and a lot more. But again, a chance of precipitation tomorrow, risk of thunderstorms. That trend will continue Saturday as well. Then it starts to heat up all over again. Sunny skies and some warmer temperatures. But of course, as usual during the 6 o'clock hour, our currents are coming up. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Rick. The results are in. Still to come on CTV News at 6. CAA's worst roads list is out. Did any in the Northeast make the list? Right now, though, we are heading to Sault Ste. Marie and the International Bridge. This live cam is courtesy of the International Bridge Administration. It's pretty quiet right now. It's 25 degrees in the Sault. We're back in a few minutes.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Ontarians have spoken. CAA's top 10 list of the worst roads in the province have been unveiled, and 2 of them are in Sudbury. CTV's Lindsay Elliott reports.
This is the 3rd worst road, according to motorists across Ontario.
Based off of our research, we saw that folks are venting about the state of the roads to friends, family, spouse, but not necessarily to their government officials. So we hope to continue those conversations with different levels of government in order to advocate for, continued infrastructure funding and a dedicated road maintenance.
Barton Street East tops the list of the top 10 roads in Hamilton, with Notre Dame Avenue in Sudbury coming in 3rd and Panache Lake Road at number 7.
We recognize those roads are in poor condition, and they're actually Notre Dame, for example, is part of our large spreader laid asphalt program for this year. So it's not a full rehabilitation of the entire street, but it's targeting the worst areas with large asphalt patches. And then the Panache Lake Road is targeted for next year.
Purvu says the list is making a difference.
County Road 49 in Prince Edward County, they got about north of $40 million to repave that road, which has been a frequent flyer on our list for a number of years. Eglinton Avenue West had the LRT project that was completed. That road ended up falling off the top 10 list this year. We've seen the city of Hamilton respond to the campaign by announcing funding towards their roads. Even the province came out with a pothole fund last fall.
CAA has been doing the annual Worst Roads campaign for 23 years now. Purvu says the top concern was potholes, but that motorists also noted poor road maintenance, uneven roads, traffic congestion, and safety in terms of cyclists and pedestrians. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
A comprehensive fundraising campaign in Timmins is moving into its public phase. The Hospital Foundation is looking to raise $10 million for a major makeover. That story from CTV's Lydia Chubak.
I believe it's important to recognize. The Timmins and District Hospital invited community partners to a special luncheon to learn more about its fundraising campaign. The foundation has already raised $20 million, with that money earmarked for a new emergency department. Hospital officials say one of the biggest challenges facing the current emergency department is a lack of privacy for patients receiving care.
I actually had a patient where I had to divulge that they had new pancreatic cancer. And, the room just next door to that, separated by a curtain, heard about that story. And, within minutes, texts were going around about that, being divulged. And that's just not fair for the patient at all. It's actually unacceptable.
This is just one example, Harper says, why the upgrading is necessary.
The standard of care now would essentially be every room is its own room. As opposed to being separated by curtains, it should be separated by cement or walls. It should have its own basic healthcare necessities in that room. There should be a door for that room. It should not just be a curtain.
First day on the job, I was down in the Emerge, and it's so crowded, the lack of privacy, the difficulty with infection control, all of those big issues that we really shouldn't have these days.
The Timmins and District Hospital Foundation still needs to secure $10 million to reach its financial goal to purchase updated medical equipment.
We've had $20 million raised. We're in year 4 of our 5-year capital campaign. So we essentially have about a year and a half to go to get us to that total of $30 million.
Hospital leaders say pre-construction work on the new emergency department could begin as early as this fall, with the major work starting next spring. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Writing about economic policy isn't most people's idea of exciting, but it's become a passion for a grade 7 student in Markham, northeast of Toronto. Now she's celebrating after winning an award for an essay she wrote about tariffs. CTV's Beth McDonnell tells us more.
13-year-old Amira Navanethan has turned curiosity into cash. The grade 7 Markham student wrote an essay for Stossel in the Classroom, a U.S.-based nonprofit educational foundation on tariffs, and won $2,500.
My mom told me, and I was in bed, and I was like, you're lying to me. I was not expecting that.
Navanethan took first prize out of 500 submissions from around Canada and the U.S. in the middle school division. The essay focuses on the hidden costs of tariffs, how they are taxes on Americans themselves, harm industries, and consumers.
I wanted to show the readers the part of tariffs that they don't see. They always hear the politicians on the screen saying, I'm going to put tariffs on this foreign country, and it will help support our local businesses. But we don't see the many losses that are happening behind the scenes.
Stossel in the Classroom tells CTV News Navanethan did an excellent job of researching, explaining, and analyzing the broad impacts of tariffs while keeping her essay focused, adding she had a strong point of view and expressed it exceptionally well.
And I'm like, what is it? Tariffs? Tariffs? What is that?
Navanethan says she never heard of tariffs until her teacher brought it up in class last year. That set off a domino effect. Every morning, she started reading the news, writing and sending article summaries to her mom to help remember and better grasp concepts before writing her essay.
I think I've always been so curious. I love learning about new things, and I always go through one thing, I want to learn this, and I want to learn that. And I've always wanted to ask questions. Questions were something that really helped me understand more about my world.
Career-wise, she says she can see herself becoming an academic one day, and for now, plans to keep writing.
Continuing, looking at these real issues that are happening in our world, especially with economics. I feel very drawn to economics, systems, how things work. That way I can actually support the right cause.
And keep asking questions. Beth McDonnell, CTV News.
All right, back now for a check on your current conditions. Here's Rick.
I like that story, Tony. Smart kids, that's our future here in Canada. Let's check out our future. Weather-wise, in just a couple of minutes, we'll get to the 7-day forecast. But as always, the currents. Let's begin in Moosonee this hour. We've got 11 with the sunshine. Cochrane, some light rain at 18. 21 in Timmins. Cloud cover. Kapuskasing, cloud cover. Only 12 this hour. 26 in Chapleau. Clouds. Wawa 20 with the clouds. 26 in the Sioux. Some sunshine, but that will change tomorrow. 22 in Parry Sound, mainly sunny skies. How about North Bay? 25 with the sun. Sun and cloud. Temiskaming Shores, 29. 26 in the KL. Kirkland Lake this hour with cloud cover. 28, sunshine. Greater Sudbury, nice night. 27 Espanola. 25 in Elliott Lake. And Gore Bay, beautiful. Manitoulin Island, I can't say that enough. It's 24, your 7-day forecast, and the pick of the day all coming up just minutes away.
Thanks, Rick. Artificial intelligence strategy next on CTV News at 6. The Prime Minister rolls out a plan that pledges thousands of jobs and creates economic growth. And Ukraine launches counterattacks, drones against Russia. The federal government has unveiled an ambitious plan for the future of artificial intelligence in this country. CTV's Michael Couture breaks down the plan and what's already being said about it.
So this is an AI-driven product. Artificial intelligence is becoming the norm in a growing number of products and places. It's why the federal government released its strategy to harness the technology while also placing safeguards around it.
That's AI governed by Canadian values. AI that is accountable to Canadians. AI that serves all Canadians.
The broad goals of the plan are to boost AI use in businesses from 12% today to 60% by the year 2034, to build a world-leading supercomputer in order to increase Canada's sovereign infrastructure in 5 years, and to give all Canadians access to free AI literacy training.
Under our strategy, the government will introduce new legislation, regulations and standards to protect your data, your privacy, your children.
So far, there are no timelines for those safeguards. Experts are also concerned about maintaining our digital sovereignty through Canadian-owned and managed data centers and clouds. And some say the government needs to think bigger than this current plan.
850 megawatts, right? That was the proposed scale by 2030 of the sovereign kind of infrastructure build they're looking at. That's less than 1/50th of what the private sector in the United States is expected to have online in 2 years.
There's also a concern over how AI could affect jobs in this country. One estimate from the Conference Board of Canada would see 535,000 jobs created by the year 2045 as a result of AI. But that would be offset by a short-term loss of 555,000 jobs by 2030.
We know that AI targets those jobs, particularly of young people, the ones that are getting into the market. So we've got to make sure that we give them the tools required to overcome that.
The Minister of AI, Evan Solomon, pointed to a Bank of Canada study on the impact of AI, underlining it has not seen any significant job losses yet. But the bank notes that could change as AI use accelerates in this country. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Ukraine says it has struck a Russian gunpowder factory just outside of Moscow. The Ukrainian military says the strike ignited a fire that covers an area of about 400 square meters, or about 1.5 tennis courts. Ukraine has recently launched a campaign of drone strikes against Russian supply routes in Russian-controlled territory in eastern Ukraine. At least 8 people were killed when a Ukrainian drone hit a bus that was traveling from Moscow to Crimea on Wednesday, according to Russian appointed officials. Ukrainian long-range drones also reportedly struck an oil terminal in St. Petersburg. Israel and Lebanon have agreed to a new ceasefire as long as Hezbollah stops its attacks.
The two sides agreed, with the guidance of the United States, to swiftly advance the creation of pilot zones in which the Lebanese armed forces will take exclusive control of the territory to the exclusion of all non-state actors.
U.S. officials say these steps will help the push towards a comprehensive peace and security deal. The announcement coming in Washington after Israeli strikes killed at least 9 people in southern Lebanon and Hezbollah fired rockets into northern Israel. There's hope this new ceasefire can help pave the way to ending the U.S. and Israeli war in Iran.
On this vote, the yeas are 215 and the nays are 208. The concurrent resolution is adopted.
In Washington, a firm rebuke of Donald Trump's war in Iran. The U.S. House of Representatives voted to direct Trump to withdraw American troops from Iran or face a vote in Congress to continue. 4 Republicans voted with Democrats to advance the resolution, which is largely symbolic. And Trump responding on social media this morning, calling the House vote meaningless. He says, quote, "Who would do such an unpatriotic thing? They know where the negotiations stand. The Democrats are fueled by Trump derangement syndrome. They would rather have our country fail than give me another of many victories. The 4 Republicans, that's a whole other story. They're grandstanders." Changes are coming for a federal benefit program with millions of Canadians set to receive payments. Starting tomorrow, eligible people will receive a one-time GST, HST credit payment. The Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit will replace that credit beginning next month. However, eligibility rules, payment calculations, and the overall structure will remain the same. According to the federal government, quarterly payments will increase by 25% each year for 5 years. And this comes as new inflation data shows Canadians are still feeling the pressure at the grocery store. According to Statistics Canada, food prices jumped 3.5% in April compared to the same month last year. Meat remains one of the biggest contributors to food inflation. Low cattle supplies are a big reason, and the price of coffee is up 20% because of poor harvests and supply chain issues. And here's Rick now with your full weather forecast. Rick.
Tony, I'm not worried about the price of beef. It's the price of coffee. It keeps on going up. I've got to get more coffee later on this evening at Costco. Hey, your forecast is calling for some rain in the northeast overnight, and right now we've got some rain as we noticed earlier. But again, that will continue tomorrow, and of course, risk of a thunderstorm to add some of that pressure to the firefighting situation and a lot more. And that will continue into Saturday as well. Then it starts to get warm again, lots of sunshine and some steamy temperatures. We'll get to that momentarily. Overnight, clouding over Greater Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, risk of a thunderstorm. Timmins, risk of a thunderstorm. Temiskaming Shores, increasing cloud, a few clouds in North Bay as well. Chance of showers, Moosonee, Caphurst, chance of showers, more of the same. Wawa, Gore Bay, a few clouds in Parry Sound as well. Here is your report card. Thursday night edition, Sudbury Nickel Belt, chance of showers. Friday and Saturday, 23-24. Sunny weather. Sunday, Monday, 27-28. Sun and cloud. Tuesday, 29. Chance of showers Wednesday at 30. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, risk of a thunderstorm tomorrow, 60% chance of showers, 21. 22 Saturday, chance of showers. Sunday, Monday, sunshine, 25, 27. Tuesday, we've got some cloud and the chance of showers, light rain, 27. Chance of showers Wednesday at 28. Meanwhile, Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, hanging around. Some sunny breaks, showers at 60%, risk of a thunderstorm, 24. Saturday, chance of showers at 60% as well, high of 22. 28 and 30 Sunday, Monday with the sunshine. Tuesday, cloud cover 29. Wednesday, chance of showers at 30%. That'll be a warm one at 30. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, chance of showers tomorrow, risk of a thunderstorm 25. Chance of showers Saturday at 40%, 23 your high. Sunday, Monday, 27 and 29. 30 on Tuesday with the sun and cloud. Wednesday, chance of showers, also a 30-degree day. And a look now at North Bay, West Nipissing. Chance of showers for tomorrow and Saturday, 30 and 40%. 24 and 25 your daytime highs. Sunshine returns Sunday and Monday, 27, 28. Tuesday, sun and cloud, 29. Back up to 30 on Wednesday. Chance of showers. And again, that is 9 degrees above normal for this time of the year in North Bay, West Nipissing. You should be standing at around 21, but not today. Let's roll that pick of the day, if you will. Sir James. Okay, this is what the warm weather will do to the vermin in and around North Bay. John sends me this. Squirrels just hanging around, lazy, maybe grab a snack or so. Just having some fun, chilling on the deck. But again, it's warm. Relax, guys. Enjoy. Tony has more news after the break.
As many Canadians continue to shun travel to the United States, they're choosing European destinations instead. But if you're flying overseas this summer, you should expect delays. CTV's Pat Foran has details.
Europe is a favorite destination for travel, and this summer will be even busier than usual. Bookings to Italy, Ireland, Greece, Switzerland, and Spain are all up substantially over last year. A video of the Lisbon airport in Portugal a week ago went viral when it showed lineups that were hours long.
It is quite honestly astonishing and testimony to just what a disaster these new EES rules are.
Canadians shouldn't be worried. They should be prepared.
Flight Centre is trying to warn Canadians that because of the new entry-exit system in Europe, they may face delays.
They will now have their fingerprints and photos taken digitally, and it essentially will replace the old passport stamp that we're used to on our passports.
Travel experts say if you're flying in or out of European destinations, you'll need to budget hours of extra time at airports.
It's always crazy during this time of year, but then you add in that new entry-exit system and gathering all of those new biometrics, and it is just taking people a lot longer.
And it's not just flying, it's any mode of transportation in or out of Europe.
It's affecting all border crossings in any form, whether it's by cruise ship or by land or by airports.
Recommendations if you're traveling to Europe arrive much earlier, especially for intra-Europe flights. Keep passports and travel documents easily accessible. Monitor airline apps for updates. Consider flexible fares where possible, and register with Canada's Registration of Canadians Abroad Service. While the new system is expected to make travel faster in the future, for now there will be growing pains as the system rolls out.
I would be making sure that I build in some extra time at any of those European airports.
Experts say don't let the Lisbon airport video worry you too much, as it's known to have some of the longest lineups of any European airports, and others should be much better. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Vancouver General Hospital is now the first in Canada to use specially designed robots to help prepare chemotherapy treatments. CTV's Kevin Chirac reports.
Meet Vancouver General Hospital's new cancer-fighting robots.
This is a very life-saving technology.
Chiro oncology robots, known as chemo robots, help prepare and assemble treatments for patients. They also reduce exposure for healthcare workers handling hazardous drugs.
It allows us to be much more efficient with our workflow.
The old way, it used to take pharmacy techs about an hour to produce 12 doses of treatment. Now, with the robots, it takes about 40 minutes. Doesn't seem like much, but on a mass scale, makes a big difference.
We are able to speed up our drug delivery process and production by approximately 30% relative to doing it in a manual fashion.
Launched in December, staff say they're proving to be a game changer.
We needed to make sure the accuracy, safety, and timely delivery of our medication. And all these three were met by Chiro oncology robots.
The $3 million robots are the first in Canada and funded through the VGH and UBC Hospital Foundation's Greater Than Cancer campaign.
It's an important investment.
Angela Chapman, president of the foundation, says technology like this could have a bigger impact down the road.
So making them on demand in the way that they're done by these chemo robots will save money. And we believe that then that will be proof of concept for this to roll out in other locations in BC and, of course, across Canada.
And while errors can happen, staff say they are extremely rare and always caught.
So if there is an unexplained differential in what we expect, like what the robot expects, the robot knows and goes, nope, don't use this drug, redo it.
For now, the robots are focused on leukemia and bone marrow transplant patients. But with demand for cancer care rising, staff say they could help the system keep up.
This is just hopefully the beginning.
Kevin Chirac, CTV News, Vancouver.
Researchers at McGill and the University of Toronto say almost half of Canadian seniors are taking one or more potentially inappropriate medications. They are recommending that seniors get an annual review of the prescription drugs they take. Researchers found that the number of medications people 65 and over are taking have been steadily increasing. 2 in 3 seniors are now taking 5 or more drugs, while some are taking as many as 15 or even 20. They say the yearly reviews could be done with doctors, nurse practitioners, or pharmacists.
It could be during a routine visit when they're seeing the patient. Sometimes if someone's taking 15 or 20 medications, as you can imagine, it might take more than one visit to go over the medications and figure out actually what each one is being taken for, and learn which ones are helping the patient and which one might be causing them side effects that are potentially dangerous or a nuisance.
The group says cutting down on unnecessary prescriptions could save the healthcare system about $1 billion a year. The North Bay Parry Sound District Health Unit is putting up new signs on city beaches about health risks. The health unit says it's shifting away from monthly beach water E. coli bacteria sampling, saying the sampling provides a snapshot of bacteria levels only at a single point in time. Results are published several days later, and water conditions could have changed by then. The signs remind swimmers to check the water before going in.
By the time we get the results back to us, it's usually several days after, and water conditions have changed, and there's lots of things happening in between when we sample and when we get the results, like heavy rain, strong winds, birds congregating on the shoreline.
The health unit is going to continue to investigate public complaints and may collect water samples at beaches when safety concerns are reported. It's Our Game, still ahead on CTV News at 6. A new CFL season begins this evening with an East Division matchup. The Hamilton Tiger Cats hosting the Montreal Alouettes.
Clothing provided by Laura, Melanie Lynn.
The 2026 CFL season kicks off this evening. The Montreal Alouettes are in Hamilton to meet the Tiger Cats. The Alouettes lost last year's Grey Cup to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. There are going to be a number of rule changes this year, too. Among those, a single point is no longer awarded on missed field goals, kickoffs, and punts that travel out of the end zone. Well, Serena Williams has chosen to partner with a young Canadian star for her return to tennis. 19-year-old Victoria Mboko posted this video today saying the Queen is back. Mboko and Williams will play in a women's doubles event in the UK. Mboko says Williams is her idol. Williams announced her return to the court earlier this week at the age of 44. The countdown is on to the start of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, with just 1 week to go before kickoff. The 2026 World Cup will feature 48 teams, the most in FIFA's history, including 4 countries making their debut. The tournament opens with Mexico hosting South Africa next Thursday. Lionel Messi and Argentina will look to become the first team to win back-to-back World Cups since Brazil in 1962. Meanwhile, Canada is still looking to get their first ever win at a World Cup. The Reds' first game is against Bosnia in Toronto on Friday, June 12th. You can watch the game on TSN, CTV, and Crave beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. The Ontario government is increasing the fines that can be handed out for people selling tickets above their original value ahead of the FIFA World Cup. Premier Doug Ford says the move will help make live entertainment more affordable for the average Canadian to enjoy.
This is such a great thing for the people of Ontario, that they can actually go to an affordable concert, an affordable sports venue. This is a massive win for the people of Ontario. So we're moving extremely fast on this. And we're going to hold people accountable. We've increased the fines, I think, up to $25,000. We're making the list public for people that want to try to take advantage of the taxpayers. We're here to protect the taxpayers. They're there to make a profit.
Under the new rules, individuals and businesses who don't cap the price of resale tickets at their original face value could face fines of $25,000, up from $10,000. The new fine structure will take effect on June 10th, ahead of Canada's first match. The Ford government says it's also amending the legislation that was passed in the April budget that will allow the public to find out of any ticketing businesses that have been issued fines. It was a special presentation honoring leadership and humanitarian efforts. While touring the Masonic Cancer Center at the University of Minnesota with his family, Marcus Foligno was surprised by his brother Nick with the NHL's King Clancy Trophy. The trophy is awarded to those who use their success on the ice to support others off the ice. For Marcus, that includes the Foligno Face-Off fundraising campaign, which raised more than $200,000 for breast cancer research grant and named for their late mother. The prize is not just some shiny hardware. The King Clancy Trophy comes with a $25,000 donation from the league to support a charity of his choice, and the Minnesota Wild will also receive a $20,000 grant to support an event related to a cause of Marcus's choosing. A giant Canadian flag has appeared on a mountain near Vancouver. It's so big, it's now an official Guinness World Record holder, and all about rallying national pride ahead of the World Cup. CTV's Shannon Patterson reports.
The largest Canadian flag ever produced was installed on the Cut on Grouse Mountain Tuesday afternoon.
We were looking at something that, showcased our Canadian pride as the World Cup came to Vancouver. We were originally planning on putting the flag horizontally across so that it could face the city, and then he said, just out of curiosity, what would it take to break the world record?
When Grouse learned there was a chance to break the Guinness World Record for largest flag unfurled on a mountain,
we made it 160 by 80 meters, and the flag is so big that we had to tilt it up onto its side just to fit onto the Cut.
Producing a flag this big is no easy task.
It was 20 days of printing it nonstop. It's 60 panels, and then we had to sew
all of the panels together.
100 people helped install the giant flag, which is held in place with airplane cables and a dozen solid concrete blocks.
We carried it down the lengthwise of the hill, attached it to the cable, and then the whole team pulled it out at once. It was actually a remarkably smooth installation process.
I just saw it from my plane when I arrived yesterday, so it was my first step to confirm this is the largest flag unfurled on a mountain.
After taking exact measurements, on Wednesday, a Guinness World Record adjudicator made it official.
Now you are officially amazing.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Suzanne.
Congratulations.
I cannot believe this.
You made it. This is a new record title.
I grew up on Grouse Mountain. I've been coming up here since I was a tiny little kid. To get this opportunity to do this for our city during the FIFA World Cup while the world's eyes are on our beautiful city means everything to me.
The flag will remain in place at least through Canada Day.
When the flag is removed from Grouse Mountain, the material will not go to waste. It's being donated to charity.
And they make quilts and bags as well, so we'll donate the material to them.
And they'll make something out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the legacy continues.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News, North Vancouver.
From rivals to friends to cancer survivors, a new Netflix documentary tracks the lives of two tennis legends. David Daniel has that and more in tonight's Hollywood Report.
Please, just now, we have nothing.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
The amazing digital circus, The Last Act, is the latest YouTube sensation to hit the big screen. The series, about 6 people trying to connect while trapped in a virtual world, has racked up more than 1.3 billion views on YouTube. The Last Act sold more than $5 million worth of tickets the first weekend they were on sale. It's in theaters for 2 weeks beginning today before landing on YouTube.
In the beginning, it was fine for me to be friends with her because I was better than her.
That hurt. I knew that I needed to be more of a killer instinct.
Here's your first look at Chris and Martina, the final set, about how tennis legends Chris Evert and Martina Navratilova went from bitter rivals on the court to friends facing cancer diagnoses together. The documentary, which includes their treatment and recovery, debuts June 26th on Netflix. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Lululemon reported earnings after the end of the trading day. Let's get the details from BNN Bloomberg's Morella Fernandez.
The Canadian company keeps its records in American dollars. It reported sales of $2.5 billion for its latest quarter. That's a 4% improvement over last year. But after hours, investors reacted to their 2026 guidance, which the company lowered. It now expects 2026 revenue of about $11 billion. The goal had been about $11.5 billion. The interim CEO says the yoga-wear company is navigating headwinds. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 71.92. West Texas Intermediate down close to $3 to 93.04. Western Canadian Select is up to 79.11. And the TSX shot up over 400 points to a new record close of 35,217. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
Here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold is up $40.62, closing the day at $44.75.34 US an ounce. Silver up $1.15. Copper moved forward 2 cents. A nickel down 9 cents, ending the day at $8.41 US a pound. And Rick is back now for one last look at your Friday weather.
What about the price of coffee these days, Tony? It keeps on going up. You just said so a little earlier. Let's check out our temperatures for tomorrow. 23 and showers, 30%. The take for tomorrow. Timmins, of course, 24, 60% chance of showers, risk of a thunderstorm. Sault Ste. Marie, more of the same, 21, risk of a thunderstorm as well. Let's have a look at North Bay, 24, chance of showers at 30%. Parry Sound, chance of showers, 21, and risk of a thunderstorm in Temiskaming Shores, 25, 60% chance. That's a pretty good bet. Tony, back to you.
Thanks, Rick. And finally, there's a unique scavenger hunt that's taking place in downtown Toronto. The goal of the hunt is to find dozens of beaver sculptures hidden in the neighborhood. Each beaver is designed to represent the countries taking part in the upcoming World Cup. CTV's Rahim Ladani has more.
Old Town Toronto often feels like a fairy tale. Maybe it's the playful dogs or the ever-still birds trying not to draw a cat's attention. And now this Narnia-like neighborhood has a new inhabitant.
I found so many beavers and they're so cute.
Not one or two or even three, but 51 beavers have ditched their dams for this urban oasis, representing nations competing in the upcoming FIFA World Cup.
I think it's a great opportunity for folks to get out there and see parts of Toronto, even if they live here.
The quirky rodents are part of a scavenger hunt put on by the Old Town Toronto BIA. Anyone can download the Great Canadian Beaver Quest app.
It's like keeping me from not being bored. It's giving me something to do when I'm walking around.
The more beavers you find and snap pics with, the greater chance you have of winning gift cards from local businesses.
I think the city trying to expand that zone of influence and keep it not just in that Liberty Village kind of area and make it a citywide thing. That's exciting.
Each lifelike sculpture is hand-painted by a local artist. This beaver is immersed within a Tunisian living landscape. The colors drawn from Tunisia's foliage and national identity.
It really shines the light on Toronto's amazing artistic scene and the amazing talent that we have across the GTA.
This contest closes on August 16th. After that, these beavers are going to be auctioned off, with the funds going towards a local charity. Rahim Ladani, CTV News, Old City, Toronto.
And folks, thanks for watching CTV News at 6. I'm Tony Ryma. More news comes your way at 11:30 with Ian Campbell. Good night.